I like that one. Yeah. You are listening to the Lost Minds. You say it, that sounds better.
You are listening to the Lost Minds podcast.
Let's get this session started with a deep breathing exercise. And by deep breathing exercise, I mean, see how that started.
Hello. What are you doing? Just making a podcast. Bet you guys cool.
Well, welcome to the Last of the Minds podcast.
Last of the Minds.
Yeah, Last of the Minds.
Ooh, I like that one. Last of the Minds.
Hold on, ready? Welcome to the Lost Minds podcast.
Chicka.
Is that better? Smoother? Smooth jazz?
Yeah, I don't know.
Smooth jazz.
I'm fine with whatever.
I've actually gotten over, like, listening to my voice. Even though I've only heard it a few times from us messing around. Like, that was one thing made me want to not do anything, not even watch videos of myself.
I feel like a fucking tard.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how
Wow.
I feel.
It's horrible.
I must feel different because I'm always gaming online, and I always hear myself either like in a video or something.
When you play with yourself that much, you will get comfortable.
Well, yeah, dude, I play with myself a lot. Like, I'm playing with myself right now under the table.
It's like sometimes I switch it up. It's not even like playing with myself.
It is weird though, like hearing yourself for like the first time. It's like one of those things. Maybe that's why, some people just opt up and grab their microphones and leave.
It's true. Or they just drop the mic.
Yeah, because they're scared. Hey, what were you talking about?
that.
We were talking about shrooms earlier.
That it's overdue.
Overdue?
I just kidding. No, I guess because we just stopped or whatever. I don't know. I haven't done mushrooms in a really long time, actually, dude. It's been like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But we were talking about it being like kind of like a reset button. Because it sounds like it's probably out of context. It sounds kind of crazy, but being like only doing it so many few times, and you go to this like kind of psychedelic trip, and when you go the last few times we've done it, just going and hanging out, doing whatever. So not like just tripping in the streets.
What would you say, like a reset button? Like, what is it? What do you mean by reset button?
Your idea of what for me anyway is like the idea of what reality almost is like changed. Like, it's like you just almost got plugged into the video game. You go and you're like, oh my goodness, like this is crazy. I'm tripping, whatever. But at the same time, you're like, I'm still experiencing it. Even it's fake. No one else is seeing it technically, but like I am. Like, it's for like that short period of time, I'm in a snow globe. I'm like seeing these things. I'm like looking at a tree, seeing 10,000 things. You know what I mean? Like those. But like afterwards, it's got a weird feeling. You like. Be like, well, I know sometimes you have I do have like sometimes a fresh appreciation. I like see something like colorful, like, and I see it even more colorful than normal. Like, that's a fucking good looking flag. I'm like, that's fucking, actually, it's a good design. Whatever. Like, there's like kind of get like everything gets a little more crisp because when I remember first looking at it, I thought of everything changed to me almost because like I'd look at a tree and I'd see the tree and some branches here or there. But then like when you're on mushrooms, you look at the tree and it's like, man, there's a gazillion leaves and like branches. Like you see all that, and so it's like being in like a cartoon or like Mario or something.
But not outrageous, like an
not outrageous,
cartoon.
not like people like how you see in cartoons. Shit's like, it's just like it gives you a weird skew because it's kind of like I don't know.
It's like HD. I feel like
it is,
and then it changes your perspective.
Yeah, so it gives you like a better perspective on it. And it makes you appreciate the little things like a tree or a bush or a flag.
Life.
It makes you appreciate the little things.
Oh yeah.
At the time,
the super small things.
Even after, like, you come down and the next, months, you'll be like, oh, you know what? I ain't angry. I'm fine. I can get over it.
Yeah, it is weird. You do feel like, it's not, I guess you could say, like, humbling, but it kind of is. You're kind of just like, oh, like, that was the thing, Because, I mean, I've done it, too, like, where we've done it a few times. I'm like, that was badass. And then, like, done it a few times, like, right after, like, the next weekend or, like, the next day. So kind of, like, too quick. And it does lose a lot of that, It kind of gives more of a trip, and you're like, ooh, this is kind of cool, funky, doing whatever. Mm-hmm. But when you really spread it out kind of thing, and then, or even if you do it at a time when you go to a place or do it at some kind of thing, maybe you plan it off or whatever, it's kind of really interesting. I don't know. It's kind of like
So like
I
doing
feel like it would be with any type of psychedelic or any type of thing when you go to like we're going camping, going to the woods, and then we're gonna drink, and so that experience that happens. People are like, oh, there's drunks, they're fucking wandering around, but really in that person's world, it's like, it's fucking, entertaining, and you're still experiencing it, and so it's kind of like that. But like anything, like even when you abuse it, it's like even like with weed and stuff. I smoke weed way too much all the time now, and it still works out great for me and stuff like that. But like, nothing like I remember like when I go on tolerance breaks and stuff, and go back to like eating. Like the one time I was in Cali and I was like on that break for like a couple months and stuff, and we went to go to the movie and I was like, fuck it, I'll just eat some weed, fuck it, why not? I haven't done it forever. And so we go to the movies or whatever, and I took like a freaking quarter of the little damn thing, and I was like, oh, that's it, I'm a big time smoker. From back here, like, oh well, fucking, I only quit a few months ago, man. Throw it in there. Literally, like by the end of the movie, I'm just like, "Where am I? I'm like, Red Dawn. Who would I be in this movie? Oh my god, what is going on? Just like going through all this crazy shit in the same time. It's like because that was the time actually, like because Allie was there too, and she ate the other piece, the little quarter piece of mine, and Tyler ate the rest of the whole thing. And he's like, all right, guys, we all went to the movie. Fucking Allie got trashed, friggin' got sick, like walked down to the movie, and like right as she got out of the movie thing, blah, fucking puked all over, like right in the entrance, and like, oh.
On the
like,
carpet area?
Yeah, right at like almost right by the bathroom, so like kind of.
Oh my god!
I thought it was like inside the theater.
No, it was right outside the theater, and they're like, oh my goodness, she's like, so she was feeling horrible, and like so she was like, like it was a horrible experience, and I thought it was like horrible, but like I thought it was funny, and so like she's like, it's funny that you have a different recollection than I do of it. I felt like it was shitty, and every time you tell it, you're like, that was super fun. But like the whole time I'm like sitting there watching Red Dawn, like, oh my god, what's going on? This crap, and they like left, went home, drove all the way home, fucking drove all the way back, and like really at the end of the movie, he comes sits down. I'm like, damn, dude, I'm like, you pretty much missed the whole movie, fucking. And he's like, no, it's over. And he's like, I was just coming to get you, whatever. I took Allie home. She was sick. I'm like, you guys left? I had no idea and shit like that.
You guys pretty much.
And I was like, oh my god. And I was like, fucking cloud 9. And I was like, this is crazy.
Zone the fuck out.
And then not even like a month or so. It was like maybe like 2 months later, and I ended up moving back to Salt Lake. And then me and Brian went fucking back out there. And we went to we stayed there for a little bit, and then we went to LA and went to a Dodgers game and shit.
Oh, that was wild.
That same shit happened to Willie this time. And so we get going on there.
A little bit and fucking...
On total 100% accident, too, because like, we're like, all right, we've been eating a few, so we've like, been snapping them. We grab a couple of towers, giving them out and stuff. And he's like, chocolate. Yeah, and he's like, you want chocolate? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I gave him some more. And then even he was like, oh, man, he gave me just a little piece of chocolate. Like, where's the... We were like, oh, okay. He's like, just get a little... And just was like, whatever. And then like he's like, we go up there and he just starts getting, we're like getting snacks and all kinds of stuff. And then Willie's just like, oh, fine for a while. And then he's like, man, I don't know what's going on,
Third
man.
inning.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. He's like, fuck. He's like, his stomach, all kinds of shit. And like, it took us forever to even figure it out too. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember how we figured it out, but like, because I
basically went to sleep.
Oh,
he went to sleep in the middle of a Dodgers game?
He was out
bench,
like a light.
I feel like he said something. Didn't he say something?
He just said, I need some water.
Oh my god, it was so funny. Even because they had fireworks.
Willie?
Yeah, they had fireworks. Oh my god, dude!
You guys Cosby'd him with chocolate,
dude. So what? Yeah, so it was like the third inning.
It was like the third and a half.
So it's a pretty long, thing. And then they had fireworks at the end, so you can go down to the stadium and watch it. And
Did you just leave him there?
No, I stayed up there, and like Tyler and Brian went down there because they're going down there. Yeah, go to the stadium thing, and Willie's just like And that was, me and Brian, too, because when we came out of the park and, like, we tried to go walk, but we parked way up on the thing.
Yeah, we lost the car.
Yeah, so me and Brian ran through the fucking, what is it, that park that's there? What the hell is it called? Gruel Park or something.
I'm going to have to find it, though.
Gruel Park, but we go running through it and shit, and, like, seriously, like, it was so funny, because we're like, we'll just run up there and get the car run over there. Go right up there. It's, like, not even 2 feet in front of us. No, maybe it was a little further. Fucking coyote goes tearing through the park. We're like, dude, this is like actually kind of creepy for being like right in the middle of downtown LA, like right.
It's kind of creepy.
But yeah, we went to pick the car, drive all the way back around the hill because the hill's like right there. Dodger Stadium's on a weird hill. It's kind of badass actually, like where it's like set at. Because I don't really like baseball, fucking. Mm-hmm. So we go drive all the way around, and they're just still sitting there in the same place, like on the concrete where we tried to walk.
Elysian Park is what it's called.
Elysian, okay.
Yeah.
That park's pretty dope.
They said there was coyotes in there and shit.
We've seen that one.
I think the only fun part about baseball is the fans. Like, the people sitting around you in the stadium. You always get some crazy-ass motherfuckers.
We want a picture, not a belly itcher.
It was a lot of fun. It was against the Pirates. They lost, but still. It's the experience.
That's got to be terrible, dude, for Willie. He's just like, yeah, guys,
Yeah.
a piece of chocolate. And
He
then
caught a
he's in
little
cloud
bit of
nine.
the game.
Yeah. It's funny because we even brought him back to like because he's staying at his dad's house, and his dad's like, "What'd you do to him?" That's so funny. He,
Why are his pants down?
Yeah, Willie, not again.
No.
No, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty fun though. I mean, but I guess going back to the mushrooms thing, like yeah, any type of like it can be super cool and like psychedelic, and even like after that time, I'm like that was such a crazy thing, you know, like being in that time, seeing those things, feeling my situation, like panicking and all those, going into weird little having like panic attacks and crap. It's kind of funny because then coming through, I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool. But when you do it a lot, it's kind of becomes really common and easy, and it just becomes fun. So that's the tolerance for it. You still like get high or whatever, but you're just like, oh, it's more. It seems more normal. I do it more often, frequent. So the same with the mushroom. To do it for like it'll totally take away from it. But when you go like do it, I feel like kind of with maybe even acid or whatever, any type of psychedelic. When you go to a thing, do an event, or maybe it's for a reason. You know, hey, we're together for this, or hey, I
Like
want
a seance.
Yeah. If you want to do it, dude, like, hey, man, I want to fucking, sit in a circle with you guys or whatever. Or like, even, hey, I want to sit in, like, in darkness and hash this shit out, you know, because then a bunch of, like, majority of all, like, the tribe of people that are left, you know, indigenous cultures and stuff, they use either, like, some form of psilocybin, some form of, like, MDMA, some form of any type of, like, psychedelic, you know, to sometimes get rid of those, like, anxieties that, like that just itself, anxiety, stress, like, they don't even have words for them, you know. To them, they're just like, oh, you know, you're kind of stressing out, you know.
Demons.
Yeah, you kind of got an inside demon and stuff. And so it's a way to, like, especially like PTSD, all that stuff, psychotreatment, because, fuck, what else can you do, dude? You're taking drugs, you have problems, get some more fucking drugs.
I definitely probably need to see a shaman or something, because I'm getting stressed out a lot. And easy. I feel like I have a short fuse lately.
Yeah, we need to get you on some DMT, dude.
Yeah, something crazy strong in a room
I'd like to do
with
that.
like a pentagram or something.
Start spinning and shit. Have you seen Doctor Strange?
No, I haven't.
That was actually really cool. I was surprised
Was it
watching on
good?
the plane going over to Mexico or whatever. And it was pretty badass. Except for I thought the dudes were like Asian or something. Like I thought they were like, because the one guy that's like the Zen master, I'm pretty sure is like some. I should probably check that though.
They
it's like
changed it up?
It's like some white chick that she's like.
Was it like a knockoff version of the Doctor Strange?
Well, you know, because like you know how it is like it was like a cartoon or something, right? Because I'd seen cartoon pictures or like comic book pictures of them.
It was definitely a comic book.
And it was different, I thought. And so I'm like, what is this? And so, yeah, I don't know. It looked a lot different, but it was still really cool and entertaining, and I actually liked it a lot. But I just felt like the casting was weird. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like they should have
Like the characters you had in your head didn't match the ones that were in the movie.
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But it was like, yeah, it was actually really, really good. But yeah, they have parts. Like I said, they do the portals, so they like, they move their hands kind of like airbenders, and it makes a little spinning thing. So that's all you need to do. Just do one of those, do little mushrooms, get your little spinning hands out there. Actually, Admiral will probably end up like, have you seen that kid on YouTube where he takes like shrooms and his parents, or like they call the cops or whatever, and the cops come.
Yeah.
And he's like, get a shovel. Mom, get a shovel.
He was on something else.
And,
dude.
like-
that was bad. There's no way you could trip like that.
Because all the cops are like holding him down. He's like, Mom, get my shovel. And shit, like he's going to fight him off. But dude, I want to go back to a crazy one here. So like when I was doing electrical work, we had to replace a bunch of piping and stuff on a sign that was up at this place in the research park by the university. And apparently some guy was fucking tripping out on mushrooms and like got in his car and started driving around. He said he thought it was in GTA. And went driving. He actually drove down into the Red Butte Gardens a little bit and like drove through a bunch of like their shit into kind of where the gate is and do their little parking lot thing. And then drove all the way back up around. And by this time there had been people like security guards, and a cop got on him. And he drove and he thought he was going to drive right up to the hill and like go through the signs or whatever. It was like bam, shit, like crashed right there where we were working on the thing and got stuck. And after he drove through all the stuff up there. And the cops were like, well, it was funny because a guy that was there, the security maintenance man, was telling us it. And he's like, yeah, man. And he's like, then after they hit him, he's like, guess what? He straight up hopped out of that car, butt naked. Butt naked. Because he had like the draw, you know, and he's like, butt naked. And he's like, oh, and they're like, he was like trying to talk to him and everything. The cops were like, no, he's super good. He likes sir. And he's like, oh, I didn't know I was naked. He's like, oh, seriously. He's like, what's going on? He's like, and he took him and he's like, oh, I'm tripping or whatever. I thought I was in a game. And the cops were like, he's really freaky. He's like, he was really good. He talked pretty good. And he's like, after the cop was talking to him, he's like, man, so you use the mushrooms? must have been a bad batch of mushrooms. Me and this guy were working at the same time. We're like, that's like a good batch of fucking mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
So you could end up like that.
It's kind of funny, but like, even though we live in, you know, this like super religious state, almost anybody you talk to is always gonna have a silly joke like that. Like, man, that must have been a bad batch of mushrooms.
Yeah,
And it's like, dude, you don't strike me as one of the people who'd be doing that kind of shit. But like, I thought I was a unicorn living in this state, but
yeah, that's what the saying with the Mormons. How do you stop a Mormon from drinking all your beer? Bring another Mormon, dude. There's Mormons around. They're fucking the best.
they don't do anything bad.
They're down to party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's how you even was at my work, dude. Like one of the like hardcore Mormons, Mark. Like when other Mormon people come around, he doesn't swear, doesn't cuss, doesn't do nothing. But as soon as they leave, dude, he turns into a body man or painter, just starts cussing left and right.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't care.
I know, I barely knew the guy, and he's like talking about his testicle surgery. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
That was He's like,
Nice.
yeah, you want to know something about me?
You want to look at this scar? Come on, boy. Get down there. Put your nose up in it.
see that soft tissue right there? Go and feel it. Feel the difference between that side.
It's
The
soft.
tough muscle leg, the muscle on that tough muscle on the leg right there, and then that soft tender.
Sorry, you're gonna have to move that out of the way.
I was like, this is how you learn? Oh, you're learning. You're learning good, boy.
You'll learn
Learn how
real
to prep
quick.
cards.
Southern now. Mark's like, what the fuck?
It's like, where'd you go to?
Well, it's just funny, but
They
he's a
don't-
cool guy, though.
It is funny.
But you should have came out, though, on fucking St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, St. Patrick's Day was fire, dude.
St. Patrick's Day up here.
No, yes, on the 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
Saturday. No, Friday, right?
Yes, Friday.
Were you guys here?
No, we went out to downtown.
Oh, that's right.
We went to first we started at my place or whatever, and then we went downtown. Yeah, Brian had a good idea. Fucking get a bunch of Shemekals. So
Bunch of dollar gold coins, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Pay with everything. Pay for everything with gold coins.
In like coin bags.
yeah, we brought
Yeah.
little pouches and shit.
Did it work?
Oh, it
I mean,
worked.
It was like not convenient. We're like, one, two, like counting them
It was
out,
not
you know?
convenient at all, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was funny as shit.
Or did the people look
There
at you
was
weird?
so
like
many
the registered
motherfuckers
people?
that we only got to do it once. No, Jordan got a good one on the guy or whatever. Like, because the guy is like coming there and the other people are sitting there and he just throws it up. It's like,
Yeah, I just kept dropping the sack on the fucking.
so he just
On the table?
kept dropping it. You could hear the coins because like I had mine in like a little Crown Royal bag, so it was like a little pouch.
Did you guys know you can go to like Zerchers and you can actually buy a money bag? Like it's an actual little like it's a white bag. It kind of looks like help me out here.
It's like a potato bag.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a potato bag, burlap. Kind of looks like a little
sack.
burlap sack, and it's got the money symbol on it with like two gold ropes on
We'll
it.
have to do that next time.
And they're pretty decently
They're actually
big,
kinda
but
funny.
what I was thinking of doing with those is like getting like $40 in gold coins and just filling one of those up.
Oh, you can't.
Why not?
I had $100 in gold coins that fit like it was a tiny little handful.
Yeah,
Really?
it's
Yeah,
they
dude,
were
like
actually a
the-
small amount.
It looks small as fuck, but it's a lot of money. But it's like that much. My hand just in a palm.
For 100?
$100. I went to the bank and they're like looked at me all weird, and the lady started smiling. She's like, "All right, I'm gonna grab my manager real quick."
Did she really grab her manager?
Yeah, because she had to open the vault or whatever to get them. They're not like right there in the cash register.
Damn. All right, so next time.
Maybe like $1,000 worth would probably
That's
maybe fill
insane.
it halfway.
But what I'm thinking about doing is like getting like $40, maybe even $100, and putting them in this gold pouch and just keeping it in my truck, and then like carrying it in my pocket whenever I'm like walking around downtown. So if a homeless person asks me for money, I'll be like, "One moment, peasant," and pull out my bag of coins and be like, could like drop one or
tossing
two.
them, dude. Me, Jordan, and Denny got on one of those bike rides. What are they called?
Oh, the pedicabs.
Pedicabs. Yeah, the dude is like looks at the coins, looks at them real close. He's like, "All right, hop on." Us three jump on the little pedicab and he just starts going. And people are walking by at St. Patty's Day. Everybody's drunk and we're just tossing coins at everybody, just like. Go on, peasants. It's $1. Really, grab it. And they all like double take, run after the coin. It's so funny.
Dude, it was funny too because like I asked the lady when she's like giving them to me, she didn't have like enough, so she was grabbing them and she like had a few in there that were like silver. I'm like, oh no, they need to be gold. she's like, oh, they need to be gold or whatever. You got any gold ones and stuff like that? And then the Jews over there, they like had them in their little wraps. And when the
Jews over there?
straight up, no, this is how it was. So the bank that Brian went to, when he pulled out all the cans, there was like 1 or 2 silvers in there. They slipped some silvers in there when it was supposed to be the gold dollars.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not Jewish, right? Is it?
That is pretty gypsy.
That's hella gypsy, dude.
I guess that's probably the slander term of what they would be, because they're supposed to be technically greedy, but it's just like being ignorant.
Yeah.
I think it's, yeah. But if you ask for a fucking gold dollar and they give you a silver dollar, those motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, you should have came out because it was pretty fun. We ended up like going to a couple different places, but it was like fucking so many people that we only got the 2 drinks. The one
everybody and their
that took
mothers
forever.
was out.
Yeah.
Like Brian was always saying, he's like, everyone wants to be Irish, dude. On fucking, or everyone thinks they're fucking Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Hey, fucking hey. Not Brian. Jordan goes up to one of the small little bitch ass bars that was right there and was like, "I'm gonna get myself a Pabst or whatever." And he like sets his coins down. He's like, "Pabst." He's like, cracks him a Rainier. Like, just like, fuck it.
Cracks him a what?
Rainier, where there's like a different type of little shitty beer instead of like a Pabst. But both of them, I don't know, are shitty. But it was just funny because like totally different. He comes back. I'm like, "What happened to Pabst?" She gave me this. I was like,
Do they not have Pabst?
no, they do, but I guess she probably didn't want to run over the other thing. And there's like at the little bar, but it was like seriously like slammed. It was.
Why didn't he take his money back? I would have just been like, bitch.
I don't know. Probably just because it's like good to get something and get the hell out.
I'll tell you what, though. Nobody else was paying in fucking gold coins. It felt good. It felt good. St. Patty's Day, pot of gold.
That would have been funny too if you had like those little, like a little black pot of gold, and you just filled it with the gold coins. Just set it there.
Kind of funny.
Take your money.
There was people dressed up like leprechauns and shit too.
Did you try catching them?
No, they probably they're like, "Come on, brother." Like,
Don't you know the only way to catch a leprechaun is between his legs?
No, really.
Only Admir would know this.
I've never
sorry.
caught a leprechaun before.
Thought the only place you can catch them is outside.
How about that?
Catch him outside. How about that?
Have you ever seen that video of on YouTube where the people in that town like have a leprechaun that they think is like running through the trees and shit?
Oh, yeah.
I seen that, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
seen that leprechaun.
I seen it.
And they had like a drawing of it and shit. And it's straight up like a little kid drew a fucking little leprechaun. It's like, like sticks and shit. And they're like, they're like waiting around for him and stuff. They're like hoping to get a chance to get his pot of gold or whatever.
Are you sure that's not something like on The Onion?
No, it's not. It's a.
It sounds like an Onion thing,
no,
dude.
YouTube video. Look it up.
Haven't you ever seen the one with the Ninja Parade?
That's my favorite Onion, dude.
The Ninja
100%.
Parade?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they put candy in my pocket.
Yeah, that's the best part. Oh my god, there's candy in my
The
pocket.
best part is you never even see anything. It's like when
For like 13 years or some shit they've been doing a Ninja
yeah,
Parade.
it's like in 13 years we've seen. There's this famous picture of like a smudge on the camera. He's like, that's one of them.
What parades do we have
fucking
down here? Because are they gonna do the underwear run and stuff like that?
The undie run.
I wonder because like now with even like going like political with freaking like you see Chafis, the representative, where he's like talking about the healthcare cuts or whatever. And they're like talking about like the subsidies and things like that. And he's like, yeah, our plan's not going to be able to help with certain income families. You know, we want to be taking from someone else to be given this like type of thing. And he's like, it's just going to be that time, you know, where you're just going to have to decide, do you want to invest money in like a new iPhone or something? Or do you want to invest money in your healthcare?
Wow.
And I was like, damn, dude, $400, $500 first off isn't shit for healthcare.
No.
Like, you wouldn't pay for shit. And then it's like, what kind of life is that? You know, like, oh... Like, almost it sucks, like, with these new phones, too. You kind of almost have to have them.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the options, like, you can have some shitty one that you save $50 and it's literally, like, way shittier, where you spend the extra, like, $100 and it's, like, something that you actually can use.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now we have to choose between that. And it's like, what the
Yeah, and imagine making minimum wage and living on your own.
fuck yeah.
On top of that.
Dude.
Dude, it's absurd, like, how far technology's come. Like, I was just thinking the other day how, when I was younger, like, if I wanted to get some dope music, you had to burn it off the freaking...
Off a LimeWire.
Even older than that,
Napster.
dude. Even older than that. Like, when you have to use a stereo, dude, to, like, record on
you
a
mean
tape.
like a tape cassette?
Yeah, on a tape cassette.
You have a couple commercials in there?
Yeah.
Dude, I got good at it, man, when I was little. Like, I'd be sitting there listening, and they're like, coming up next is so-and-so song. And I'm like, that's my favorite, dude, Backstreet Boys or whatever. And And I'd be sitting there waiting, and then as soon as it starts playing, push record, and then you got to listen to the whole thing without paying attention to a single thing.
Yeah, you're waiting
except for the end, and as soon as it ends, you stop it, and you're like, yes, bitch.
That's funny. I used to even do that even with commercials too. Cause I'd record them, like try and get all my favorite songs on there, and then like if I ever like got it where I screwed it up, I was like, fuck. Should let it fucking play for the rest of it. Have like some good songs, and then I just have it play. And so I'm like, at least I can actually listen to it. Because like, even now, I guess you still get alright reception, but I don't feel like anything worked. Like when I was younger, like no reception. You know, like everything was like, it's alright. You know, we'll just make it over to this gas station and give a call. You know, here or there. Like now, it's like instant.
Yeah, people are bitching about a room that doesn't have reception.
Yeah.
It's like, do you really want to drive to the 7-Eleven and make a payphone call?
Right.
Dude, I remember being a little ass kid and we were at Browns Park or whatever, so it's like kind of like desert or dirt road and stuff, and so it's out, we're kind of middle of nowhere, and so it is kind of a weird spot, but they always have the thing, they're like, yeah, if we ever run out of gas, the youngest has to run back and get the gas, you know, they're the best in shape or whatever. And like, dude, that one time happened, we like ran out of gas, and it was me, my cousin, and my dad, and they were like, yeah, we gotta go get it. And I was like, really? And I'm like, oh my god. And so I'm like, all right. So I just started running all the way down there, and so I'm like, oh my god, I gotta fucking go get the gas or whatever.
It's a far run, dude.
Yeah, not even too, like, I mean, I didn't even get too far, and there was someone that picked them up or whatever, and like they came coasting down the thing, and they just like, up in, like, oh, it's funny, you're actually gonna try and run or whatever. I'm like, dude, fucking how else are we gonna get gas, you know?
How far away was it?
It was up with the canyon, that canyon part, when we were getting red dirt out of the canyon. So like right
all
basically
the way up the canyon.
Yeah, like right when you pass the end of the river and you go up to that part right before the canyon goes down. So right at the start of it. So you have to come all the way across.
Would you have to run across the river?
Down all the way across the river, across the bridge, up the thing, all the way to the park thing. It'd have been like hella far. I was hoping to see someone first.
How many miles would you think to say that is?
That would have been half a day, dude.
Dude, that would have been a long...
Not even for... I would have been like in the middle of the day. Fucking probably wouldn't have made it halfway. Probably would have died.
Yeah, you probably would have
drink
been
the
dead.
gasoline.
Yeah.
You're like,
I can't even make it to get the
darn,
gas.
it's thirst. Let me just drink this gasoline I brought with me.
It'll give you energy.
It's like light it on fire. Run over there.
It's like one of those dumb things like, should we get the boat or should we get the box?
That shit,
The box,
dude,
there could be a boat in it.
The Family Guy, whatever. Yeah. And he's like, freaking everyone's like driving their boats on like the lawn. Where's your boat? But dude, I ran out of gas going to the Redwoods. That shit happened. Like we were driving, and it was like in the middle of the night, so we were just trying to drive through the middle of the night. We're like, let's hit it and just get there early. And
Rookie move, dude.
Yeah, so it was like 4 a.m, and we're like getting to one part where it said there was supposed to be gas, because there was a part that there was supposed to be one, but the city was ended. So it was like seriously, like there's even a sign that said no services, like 180 miles or something. So we're like driving, and like we were like getting so close to the gas station. I like seriously like flying. I'm like just trying to race to get there, and we like, and it was with I was with Aubrey and friend Val or whatever. And so we're like, just starts coasting down the road, and they're like, are we out of gas? Like they're going even slower. I'm like, fuck.
Start pushing.
Like we're fucking out of gas, and we're like just like coasting as far as the kids are like. It's like stops to the side of the road. I'm like, God, and it's like it's literally like maybe like 5 miles away or something. Not even that. It's like literally down the street, and I'm like, I have to go get gas, whatever. I'm like, so I'm just gonna start going to run over there. Like, you just gonna run over there? I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna run over there. How? Like, cause there was literally like it was in the middle of nowhere, you know. So I started running over there.
Did you think about bears or anything? Or a moose running you down?
I was thinking more about like getting killed by some crazy hitchhiker. A couple people drove by, and I was like trying to wave them down. They just fucking zipped by and shit. And then I was like almost basically there, and then like some kid came. He pulled up in a car, like, and yeah, I was pulled up. I'm like, oh shit, here comes somebody, you know, finally, you know, and like I was waving down, and I didn't think anyone was gonna be stopping. Really, I'm like, oh shit. So it's kind of like.
Afraid he's gonna cattle prod you.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if you could just like shut the door, lock the door, you know, and I go to grab the what the hell? Go to unlock the door. It's like a little blade. Fuck. Just like you ain't going nowhere, boy. It's like
show the ride.
It's a roll cage in there.
Yeah, but no, he like took it, which was good because he had actually had a gas can, and like he's like, you know, I was just sleeping over there. He's like just traveling around some like vagabond type stuff. It was pretty dope, I guess, checking out a bunch of different stuff, but we ended up having to go to like find this guy, and like the place wasn't even open till like 6, and I could see the guy in there watching TV, and I was like banging on the window. He's like, we're not open. I'm like, I'm out of gas, dude. I'm like, can I come and just get gas?
You couldn't fill your own thing there, could you?
Yeah, no, because it was in Oregon, so like they have to fill it for you.
Then they can't be closed. Could they?
I don't know. That was the thing. He's like, well, we opened up. So anyways, he like gets the thing, and we fucking go all the way over there, get the gas, and I go, and it was only like 2 little things of gas. I had to go drive all the way back over to get to where he was at, and like in that same building where he was watching the TV, he wasn't there anymore. And so like literally like we had to wait like 20 minutes, and then fucking when the place opened at like 6 or whatever, 5, fucking he came out of this other like trailer and like went into the building where he was like originally watching it. I was like, this fucking bitch. And then he came, and I was trying to fuck with the machines, because I'm like, how did he get this thing to work and shit, you know? And it has like a little key thing. And he like had some like haggard ass like piece of like, it was like a broken piece of like the saw part of his Leatherman, so it looked like the little saw parts got the teeth and like broken off or somehow. Fucking like wedges it in there and he's like turns the pump on. I'm like, fuck. If I would have known, I would just turn the pump on. But I was like, it was so annoying because I'm like, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna get gas or whatever. And he's like, all right. And he's like, we're not open yet. You know, he's like so perturbed, like out of shape that he had to like get the gas. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm just out of gas. You know, blah blah. Next thing you know, he's gone. Waited all the way to that time. I was like, bitch. And their gas was like hella more like this night because it was not a little spot. And so I was like, fuck, I want to take $5 or whatever. Got a little bit of gas, which got me plenty to the next town, you know. But I was like, man, this shit's obnoxious.
Yeah, that'd piss me off.
Especially because when you run out of gas, you're kind of like, But it was funny because when I got back and they're like, oh my God, you got gas and everything. I'm like, yeah, the guy picked us up or whatever.
Did that guy drive you back to your car?
Yeah, all the way back to the car and stuff. He's badass. And
what's his name? Give him a shout out.
His name's I don't know. I forgot.
Tobias.
Dude, I can't.
You should have just made up some archangel name.
I meet people all day long and I forget who they are and stuff like that. But it's better with faces, anyways.
Well,
dude, there's this new cleaning guy at our work. Looks just like Jackie Chan.
nice.
Freaking another lady that
I don't know why I
had
had to say that, but I had to.
She looked like the Mr. No Superman or whatever. That one.
Oh yeah,
No Superman, no hair.
yeah. They first hired her, and then she tried to make. So like this is how fucked up the story is. Like she was working under the company that my company hired, right? And then she tried. What she did one day was she put up a flyer asking if anybody wanted to buy like quesadillas or like tamales or tacos or whatever. Right. And she put up a list and said like if a certain amount of people requests a certain thing, like if 10 people want like 5 tacos each of like beef, she'll go ahead and make them and bring them in the next day. And she was charging like $1 for like 3 tacos or something. It was like super good deal. And tamales were like, it was like $1 for 2. It was a really good deal. So like people would order like 10, 15 tamales and like she'd bring in like tons of tamales. And the guy didn't like that she was making that money on the side from the same company.
That one guy that was there, Carlos, whatever his name is?
See, he fired her ass.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
What
for
the
doing that.
Fuck?
And she was like, she started like, dude, it got huge. Like she would like bring in lunch for people like every day. Like people would give her like $5. And she ended up making, it was like an extra $50, $60 a day just from our shop. Like, cause people would pay her, and then one day she'd bring in like some chickpea soup or something, and like whatever people ordered, like that's whatever was the biggest thing, she'd bring it in. And I guess he didn't like the fact that she was making all that extra like side money, so he fired her ass, and she wasn't allowed to come back to the shop.
We have this one guy who stops.
Yeah, she wasn't allowed to come back.
We have this one guy who stops at our work like once a month, which is a shit ton of tamales. He's sold out by the time he leaves. He has just like this fat stack of cash. I come and bring him $100 bill, and he's like, I'm like, shit, he's not going to be able to break it. Can you break $100? He pulls out this fucking wad of cash, dude. And he's like, yeah, I could do it. I was like, all right.
I wish they would have let her like stay, at least do it. The food truck can come in there and shit.
Yeah.
And that guy's got a like badass truck and shit. I feel like he always kept all the money.
That's where like the redemption is he couldn't keep up with the work. Because like she'd kick ass, you know, like she'd do everything. She changed the soaps, she changed the towels, she changed everything. Like,
she'd be like taking the garbage, pull the garbage cans out and shit, and she'd like she was like as big as the garbage can, dude, and like dragging these big ass bags. A lot of times, like if they were like the ones, I'd just grab them and be like, fucking, cause I could toss them up really easy, dude. She'd be like, fucking. Straight up, like it was, dude, like Mr. No Superman, dude.
Yeah, dude, she was straight up like a hardcore worker, dude. And then after that, she'd go home and like make the tamales or whatever, and then bring them in the next day.
That's why they're taking her gerbs.
Dude, that's so crazy.
And so he fired her ass, and then like he couldn't keep up with the work, so the company fired his ass. They're like, we don't need you anymore. So they like now there's a new company came in, and they're working for us. And the guy that's doing everything, he looks just like Jackie Chan.
That's funny.
But he's like a Hispanic Jackie Chan.
Is he pretty cool? Do you talk to him at all?
No, I haven't talked to him. He only speaks Spanish.
It's like that
But he
lady,
looks
she always
just
speaks
like
Spanish.
Jackie
I always
Chan,
try to
dude.
talk to her. That shit's hard. It's kind of funny.
Like
It's funny you say that because my dad reminds me of Jackie Chan. Just like his personality, it's so funny.
No, dude, this guy looks like him.
He's a brown.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, his face looks like Jackie Chan. Like, today I'm sitting there, like, prepping a car for masking it off. And I look up, and all I seen was just his head above the hood of a car. And I'm like, Jackie Chan. Like, instantly, like, my face, like, the face
Jackie?
I was like, hey, Jackie!
Does a backflip out of there. He's like,
he's
see ya.
Up a wall.
Dude, that'd be so
Well-
cool. That's like an icon right there.
Dude, he could seriously be like a stunt double.
Yeah.
No joke. He looks just like him.
The Mexican version.
He's like, I am the Mexican Jackie Chan.
They have a fight off. Dude, it's so cool to see Jackie Chan though in real life. Oh my goodness.
Dude, yeah, he's like a legend.
Dude, he's so badass.
Jackie Wan.
Did you ever watch all the Jackie Chan movies and stuff like Rumble in the Bronx? Dude,
All
That,
his
like-
movies are fucking great.
like I remember, like I always remember the part where like he was like, they're like getting ready to like have him. He's like, yeah, I'll let you go. He's like, if you kissed my ass. He's like, yeah. And he like bends over and he's like, boom, like kicks the fucking bandana off, whoosh, whips him in the ass. He's like, ah. I was just like, this is the guy's the coolest. Because then he like fucking jumps across the fucking building. And I'm like, man, that's cool. And he doesn't realize. It's like real.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
When I found that out, dude, I was blown away. I think that's what made his movies so much better than a lot of like the shitty 80s movies.
You wait for the credits and you're just like,
Yeah.
all right, let's see this.
That was the best part.
You
Yeah,
see
waiting for
getting
him.
Fucking
I'd pay
decked
him.
in the face by a plank of wood.
I remember watching him do that, like with the one in the Rumble of the Bronx. They're like doing it in the jukebox part, and he like they're like swinging. He like jumps over the jukebox, and the guy like kicks the jukebox or the nut. Is it no? It's a ping ball machine. So he like jumps over the back top of it. So there's a thing, and he falls all the way down to the ground, and then he tries to lay under it, and the guy kicks it. But he like as he jumps down all the way, and like lands on his butt, and he's sitting there, and the guy kicks it, and it just fucking slides and hits him like right on the top of the head. It's like whoosh, against the wall. Just shit like that. You're like, ow, and he's like, he's rubbing it. Okay, we're gonna go again.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Well, I heard a cool story. I guess with Jackie Chan and shit. Like with he was like, yeah, well, I got really excited because I was doing martial arts, trying to get all these jobs. I want to be in movies and stuff. I got my first job, and I was a double in a movie and stuff. And I had to run in there, and I had to run, and my only scene was just to come in there, like dodge or whatever, and just get hit, and that was it. And he's like, I ran in there, and then I like tried to dodge, and then the guy came around, whap, hit me right in the face. And he's like, he was supposed to accidentally hit me, but he actually hit me, and it was like, wham, and I fell to the ground. And the whole scene goes on, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. And like gets up, and then after the scene, and goes cut. He like runs over there, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's like, "We gotta hang out after, blah blah." So I start hanging out with him after, and this is Jackie Chan talking. He's like, "I start hanging out with him after, or whatever." And he's like, "I want to do this. I want to be in the movie." He's like, "No, you definitely should." He's like, you study this, you study this." He's like, "You're right on your way." And he's like, and the guy that was talking to me was Bruce Lee. And he's like, after that, he's like, "I knew I wanted to be like him. I wanted to do those type of things."
Damn.
And I was like, "Damn, dude, Bruce Lee's the man."
What was it? Enter the Dragon?
I don't know. It's probably like freaking.
I think I remember that too, where he's
I watched
talking
it on
about
an interview. It
where
was so
Bruce Lee
cool.
hits him for real.
Yeah. And so he like ended up, he's like, it worked out because he ended up coming talk to him after, and then he's like, then he just gave him a little pep talk and stuff, and he's like,
Damn.
dude, you could easily do it, and he's like, I mean, I'm doing it, why can't you do it, And he's like, I want to do something like that.
I think that's what made his movies really good, even for like how old they are, is the fact that like it wasn't faked. So like when you see someone fall 2-3 stories and they hit the ground, it looked good because it was the real deal. You know what I mean? Like when you take like movies like the older, like The Matrix, even for example, like there's a lot of parts in there. If you watch it now, you're like, oh, that looks kind of shitty. Like I could see the fakeness, I could see the CGI.
Yeah.
But you watch any of the old Jackie Chan movies, you can't.
The one that really gets me that I always remember is the one where he's sliding on the side of the building, or like the top of
yeah.
it, where it's
The glass
slanted.
building?
Yeah, and he's just sliding, and you're just like, you can't see any harnesses. Yeah, and he's just sliding. And you're like, well,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
because
the movie's out, so you know he's gonna stay alive.
Yeah.
but it's still knucking futs.
it's sketchy. And he hits the bottom and he's like waving his hands, like trying to keep himself. And you're like, holy shit, dude, he could fall. And the fact that like he did all his own stunts and he got hurt and he got cut and like like whenever you went in to watch one of his movies, you're like, yeah, dude, this is gonna be Jackie the whole way. There's not gonna be no fake dude looking the other way, and you can kind of tell it's not him because he looks a little fatter than the actual person. So you're like, is that a stunt double? And there was no
They
stunt
never
doubles.
show his face.
Yeah, they never show his face.
In
getting
Rush
hit.
Hour, when he jumps onto that big satin curtain, jumps on it, and he like slides all the way down. That's him. That's like legit shit.
That's sketchy.
That is so crazy because you have to go off the side, you know, if it just like,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like
you just fall, slam.
he's probably, that was probably like one of his creeds, dude. Like, if I die doing what I love to do, it's the way I'd want to go. That's probably what he told all his crew, and because everybody he worked with, he's probably like, if I die doing this, it's the way I wanted to go. So don't be like, he's dead now.
What's crazy to think about, dude, too, because like he did all of his stunts. You know, Jet Li even does a bunch of his own stunts. And then Bruce Lee, and then who's it? Kevin Lee. Both do all their own stunts, but both get killed doing their own stunts. Both of them get killed by like on order. I guess Bruce Lee was poisoned, huh?
I had his son got killed on set.
Yeah, his son got shot, huh?
Yeah.
With, like,
Yeah, he got
a
poisoned
fake
with
gun or
lead.
whatever. He got lead poisoning. Someone
Got
stabbed him
lead.
with a number 2 pencil.
He got
Too
lead
soon.
poisoning.
Too soon.
Oh, lead fucking.
What movie? It was on The Crow, right? What
Yeah.
movie was it on?
Yeah,
The Crow.
Because that's kind of crazy too. Like, I wonder, like, I don't know. It's just so weird how that kind of shit happens too.
What, death?
Like, kind of on, I don't know, even on set, you know? Like, it's funny, I guess they have the realistic thing. Because even, actually, in one Jackie Chan thing, too, he was showing, I can't remember, he was working with one actor who's pretty famous, and he was, like, shooting guns, and it was in the same movie. I want to say it was, like, Chris Tucker. And they were showing him training on the side, and he's like, no, because they had the blanks, and so it was, like, wasting all the blanks. And he's like, before the scene comes, he's like, Jackie, go. And he's like, cuck. And he'd shoot a few times. And then they'd be like, go. And then he would shoot. So he's already like used to the bangs. And so he could shoot and he could keep his eyes open more. Because most of the time, like, So that was the thing. So they're always like, before the scene, you know, bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. So like the scene, you know, they shoot way more. I'm like, they never have issues. A lot of people don't have issues. You know, there's a lot of things, you know. And maybe it's just the pointing of the gun. But
I think it's after, what's his bucket got killed in The Crow. They made it in movies that you're not allowed to point a gun at another actor, even if it's a fake gun. Like, if you're pointing a gun at someone's head, like, the camera has to be angled to the point where it looks like you're pointing it at their head, but you're actually pointing it off to their shoulder, like off of their shoulder somewhere, where you can't actually have the gun aimed at somebody. So, like, if you actually get pretty good at it, you can watch newer movies, modern movies, and you can see the camera angles. A gun is never pointed at another person, and if it looks like it is, it's not. Like, the guy's arm is angled off to the left or angled off to the right.
funny, like,
No one's allowed to like point another gun at another
That's
actor.
probably only for guns with blanks in them.
I think it's any gun.
Because if it's just like a fake gun that you know it's not going to shoot, like in John Wick, there's no way he's going to be able to hold a gun under someone's chin not like.
yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think they know. It doesn't matter though.
It does. Like, if you have just an expert that's standing there and he looks at the gun real quick and he's like, "Yep, that's good. There you go."
Well, that's what they probably did in Crow too. But like, imagine in the movie Crow, maybe only
unless
3
someone
or 4
wanted
people.
him. Looks good.
Yeah. Conspiracy theory.
2 of them in
Put
on
it out there.
Because I don't think even in like movies where there's like a bunch of dudes like laying like out in a field and you're like shooting at all, like the good guys shooting at all of them and they're shooting back. I don't think every single bad guy down there has a gun with blanks. If anything, like maybe 1 or 2, like the guy on the far left, guy on the far right, and the guy in the middle might have blanks, and everyone else have like cardboard guns.
Yeah.
And then all they would do is just copy the muzzle flash from all 3 of the positions and paste it into the guys that are in the middle somewhere to make it look, you know, it's like they all have muzzle flash. So even the dudes in the middle aren't supposed to point their guns because it's just not
Pussies.
etiquette.
I don't know. We'll have to.
Yeah, and John Wick,
Look that
that guy
up.
goes crazy. That show's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
badass. He puts guns all over the
Have you
place.
seen Nerf Wick?
Oh,
No.
that's so awesome.
Dude, Nerf Wick is awesome.
It was too short, though.
It was really short, but
It was good, though. They
It
made
was
it
really
pretty
good.
well.
Wait, who made it?
I want to say it was it Rocket Jump?
No, it
Oh,
started
it was
with a
on
C. Like Corridor or something like that.
'Cause who's that one kid that does like those badass special effects?
Rocket Jump.
Is that the guy?
Yeah.
And he like does
Or Rocket Boost or something like that.
that kid or whatever. Well, I guess he's probably
The Asian kid and the white kid?
forever. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like Rocket Boost or Rocket Jump.
yeah. Those kids, I swear, they're so damn talented. Like their shit sometimes like
Have you seen their first shit? Like the very first videos, they were mediocre, but I think they just kept on it, and they had a bunch of people who were in on it, like
Yeah, it is
Like-
Corridor.
like-minded, and but yeah, that Corridor, they did a really good Nerf one. It looks really good too.
I'll have to check it out. Gotta start Googling. Oh no. That's it, huh?
That's good.
That's pretty cool. I actually like when they do like kind of like that. Because I've watched some fucking shit movies. I remember like going to fucking Hollywood Video, you know, back in the day, and you'd go wait, and like maybe like once or twice a month they'd have the new release, you know. And so during that time, you'd usually watch a movie fucking a million times because you had 5 days. But you just be strolling through all the bullshit, and there'd be all these random ones popping up, and you just go get some bullshit like freaking like dinosaur one. You're like, oh, this looks intense, and then you get it, and it's like total like clay animation, like
So you're stuck with that.
see the fingertips like of like the people way far in the back, and then right up close, someone's like little fingertips holding the dinosaur. So it looks really big, you know, because it's really close to the camera. But it's like basically like that, you know. And you watch some shit like that on YouTube where kids are in their school, you know, just doing stuff. You're like, wow. These kids are way good. Like, either someone's not trying their place and phoning it in, or like, dude, we got something backwards here because these kids are doing way good.
No, it's like what my 3D animation teacher told me back when I was in high school. Every class is technically 3 years more advanced than the class before it. So, like, the kids in 7th grade will be 3 years more advanced than the people in 8th grade. So the further back you go, the better they will be than you. Like, no matter what you do, the younger generation's always going to be better than you. Like, you could keep up with them, but they're going to be better than you.
That's obvious, isn't it?
In a sense, but think about it. Like, let's say you go into 3D animation and you're learning how to model. Let's say you've been doing it for 2 years. A kid coming out of high school right now is 6-7 years ahead of you. In the fact that you've been doing it for, you know, the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. Some kid just barely coming out of high school is better than you, or as good as you.
Well, I heard it like said like I thought best like this one. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, when I watched an old, I don't know what skate video it was, but it was one with Pat Duffy, and he's like skating. Everyone's like talking about how crazy he is, doing this stuff like that, you know. And that's skateboarding is a good version of that, you know, because they start off by like, whoa, hanging 10, you know, doing wheelies on these little boards to like fucking flying downstairs and rails and shit. And this one, I can't remember who the hell it was, but another skater was like, I remember just watching him, and he went up and did this like double kink rail, and he just went on this rail and just did this like ping ding 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 ding, a bunch of kinks, and like comes off, and everyone's like, what the fuck, this kid just did this crazy ass thing.
Yeah.
And the one thing he's like thinking, he's like, man, he's like damn, he's like, well, now he's like, it's crazy, we know can do these double kink rails because we've seen Pat Duffy do this. And he's like, but the part I need to get to is like where he was before that, because like we know it's possible now, but how did Pat Duffy before know it was possible?
He
know, so he just went for it.
That's like that Ryan Sheckler gap. Well, it wasn't Ryan Sheckler's gap, but he, like, everybody could barely like kick flip or frontside flip it, and he goes and does like a big flip over it and does just like crazy shit over it, and everybody's just like, holy fuck.
Ryan Sheckler really is like for. I mean, maybe he got flack and stuff being around, like being a younger kid and stuff, but like for like if you want to go like on a Hall of Fame or something like that, Ryan Sheckler, like fucking like his whole life has been inside like the skateboarding pros and stuff like that. But like that kid has been like, I remember watching him in like as like an 8-year-old kid and shit. Like, so he's seen, you know, like I guess even like us skating or like these other pros skating. Oh my god, they're doing these rails. So he's like fucking doing these ramps, jumping over like 8-foot ladders and shit, you know, and like acid dropping like little rats. You're like, what the fuck are these kids doing? Because now the bar's set, you know, they know where to go.
That shit's nuts.
It's like you look at basketball, everyone's like, you know, they're chasing Jordan. And even people now, they have current legends, you know, everyone wants to try and chase Kobe, try and chase LeBron, stuff like that. Who's the GOAT, you know, who's greatest of all time, type of shit. And always like kind of paving ways. That's why it's kind of scary about the AI, you know, when I've been listening to a bunch of crap on it because I feel like it's coming up a lot, but, you know, they're going to end up taking over a lot of stuff, a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunities, things like that, which will be good and make things a lot more easier and stuff. But then, you know, at what point does that boil over?
Yeah. Yeah, at what point do people start losing everything?
Yeah.
You can't work in fast food. You can't work in mechanics. You can't work in flight. You can't work in anything. But then I think that's what Elon Musk was talking about with like a bunch of like dudes from like the Middle East, like in Dubai. And he was like, it was kind of funny because he brought it up. He's like, I think people have to have a monthly credit that they're allotted. So like everybody gets like 20,000 credit every month. And how do you spend that 20,000 credit? You know, do you spend it on this? Do you spend it on that? And those guys are like, we can't do that. Why would you give everybody 20,000 credit for every month? Where would you be able to afford that? He's like, well, it would have to be something. Because if your agriculture is run by robots, if transport's run by robots, processing run by robots, shipping done by robots, the baked goods done by robots, the delivery done by robots, construction of houses done by robots. He's like, you don't need people for anything. Management of all processes done by one robot. He's like, you're not going to need people, but we can't just go off and kill everybody. So you're going to have to give everybody credits that they could spend and make everything obnoxiously expensive. Like, you want to get a cheeseburger? 5,000 credits. Or something stupid, Like,
it's true, and we're holding on to that weird, like, I call it like the Starbucks factor. So like a lot of these things I feel like are kind of like right on the edge where it's going to tip over where the AI is going to, like you look at Amazon, their whole warehouses are done by robots. They go pick everything. Even when I was working at UTA, they ended up having a big portion of their warehouse turn into a giant supercomputer, and you just like type it in like a vending machine. It's like bzzz, pulls the shelf out. You don't even shit, And so like with them, like even...
Yeah, just imagine an order being...
Just had a brain fart, dude.
Even with them? Amazon?
No, I was just thinking about with the AI. Oh, God damn it. I can't remember.
Nice. I love brain farts. It's okay. Just rely on your brain. It'll come back.
Well, it's a perfect time to go to break.
Go to break. Actually, we've been cooking at this thing for 51 minutes. Because I remember now. Okay. But the Starbucks factor is when we go to Starbucks or we like do something and we pretend that we need the person to do it. So like if you go to Starbucks or Beans and Brew, any one of their machines, anything they have is basically like a giant machine. You can go press the button, espresso. They're not loading shit. They got a whole big old bin they fill up every like hour, and it just drains all their coffee, They just push the buttons. So literally, they've already designed all these machines that you could just go right up to, which they already have at like most like big airports in other foreign countries. You just go right up to them, hit the button, and make sure perfectly made espresso, all this stuff. But for some reason, we want to be like, hey, walk up to them and be like, hi, hello, here's your cup of coffee. Oh, thank you. They hand
human
it to
interaction.
Me. Yeah. Same with like the Lyft, People are like, oh, hi, my Lyft driver. Because I always say that to people. I'm like, pretty soon I think robots will be picking you up. Oh, that's weird. I like talking to a person. Not when the thing's there in a couple minutes and they're driving all over the place, and you don't have to do anything and you got free Wi-Fi and all this stuff,
And it'd probably treat you nice, too. Be like, welcome to the Lyft.
Yeah, I notice your moods are low. Would you like to get boosted with a 5-hour energy?
Oh, that'd be shitty.
It's like, what the
I can
fuck?
tell you just got dumped, and your life is in shambles. Maybe you lost your job. Would you like a gun with your Frappuccino?
Welcome to the suicide car.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah. From the odor that your
Suicide
body's
boost.
releasing, we can tell that you're in the third stage of terminal cancer. It may be too late to drop you off at the hospital. Can we take you to your favorite sites to see? It's like,
we recommend 6 different sites. It's like, ding, 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 ding.
I can tell by the chub that you are growing. The hot lady behind you is making you erect.
It's like,
God.
be quiet.
Son of a... Shut up!
that's like that Sam Harris thing too on the AI he talks about with it is like that, like not with the chubbing, but like even though like with those type of things, they learn them. So if it's like joke, slang, these type of things, like processes these type of things, so like that new Google, it's like responsive. So you'd be like, what the heck is a good place to go, whatever, and it'll like answer, ooh, this place is highly recommended, like so you can kind of ask it questions like. Or you can be like...
Judging by your Google searches.
Yeah,
what's
that song? What's that song? And they play it. And, what year did they have that CD come out? And it'll keep going. You don't even have to say, what year is this band or whatever. It's just going to keep knowing you're talking to it. So it's already like duplicating. But that's the thing with a lot of the AI. You figure if it's going to be self-replicating, which kind of a lot of times it is, it develops and say, hey, maybe each year it doubles. Do we double each year?
Isn't it every year it's like 10,000 years humankind or something like that?
It's like way faster. So really at the rate, like in a couple of years, they're going to outsmart us, technically, just because that's just the way it's going, It's like it's going to happen
I hate that though, don't you? Like you're on Instagram, you're on Amazon and you're like shopping for something, then you're on Instagram and it pops up on your Instagram feed and you're like, what the fuck? I just paid like a shit ton for something that I just bought and it's on my Instagram feed. It's weird. It's crazy.
I think it's kind of cool, but kind of sketchy at the same time.
Oh yeah, they're watching.
I'm just waiting for, the fact that we proved that the Earth is flat. No, dude, but another thing I was going to say is if you go on YouTube and you watch live from the flight deck, it's a YouTube channel where a pilot has an HD camera in the cockpit, like looking out the window. And he basically like does his entire routine in the morning. Like it's like the video starts and you're looking at like a tray with like some scrambled eggs and like a little coffee, and like he like pours himself a coffee and then like mixes it up, and it's all kind of like fast forwarded. And then like you see like his suitcase dragging behind him or something, and then like he's sitting in the cockpit and he's like flicking all the switches and shit, and it's like really like high quality video. And then he's like taxiing out, and then the airplane takes off and it's like flying over the world, and just some of the scenes are insane. Like you could see forever, dude. Like
What's it called?
it's like live from the flight deck.
That'd be cool.
But dude, like you could see the stars. Like he's right above the cloud layer, so like you could see. It looks like he's in a space shuttle, dude. It seriously looks like he's in like what's it called? The
Like space station or something?
Yeah, it looks like he's in the space station, but he's a pilot of like a 762 or something. And you could see the stars above him, like in the clouds, because it's like such a good camera that he's got in there. So you could see the stars, the cloud layer below him, like shifting, everything's moving, and then you could see the ocean or the land, whatever he's flying over, the cities, the lights. And then he comes back in for a landing, and like his airplane lands and docks. And then like the same thing is like flying. He does like compilations where he's like flying through different altitudes and like flying through clouds and through like rain and through thunder and shit. And it seriously like jaw dropping. Like watching a YouTube video like that. I don't know. It's very surreal. Like the video itself, the quality of the video, and like the quality of the camera looking out the little window. And you're seeing everything from the front of the plane. You're not looking out the side. You're looking from the front. So even like when he's like rising up through the clouds, it doesn't look real. It looks like almost fake, but it's an actual airplane like flying through the sky, and you could see forever.
Trying to see if it's flat, huh?
Trying to see if it's flat.
Would you say that's your pick of the week for something that people could get lost in?
Yes.
So your one, because I think we should each have one. That's your lost item of the week. One place to lose your mind, flight deck.
Yeah.
I'll have to check
Live
that
from
out.
the flight deck.
Live from the flight deck. I'd like to check that out. I'm trying to think of things that like...
It's very
Because
surreal.
that just sound like, when you're saying that, I'm like, dang, I could lose a few hours in that. I would like to recommend something like that. Because, dude, some things like that are just so interesting.
It doesn't look real. That's all I could say. It obviously isn't. It's probably just some dude like, hey, dude, I fucking fly an airplane for a living. Like, why not post some YouTube videos of like my day routine?
Might as well.
And it looks really cool, and it's breathtaking. Like, really is. If anybody's out there thinking about becoming a pilot, I'd recommend watching some of these videos because it's a bit scary. Looking at like all the shit he has to go through just to get that thing like ready and prepped to fly. It's fast though. It's not like a slow video. It's actually really fast. He's like flicking through all these switches like tick, 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 tick. The video's kind of sped up a little bit, so you can like see him like adjusting everything, and then the airplane taking off is really fast. It's not like a little slow process like actual. Or if anyone's ever flown, it takes for fucking ever to get off the ground.
Hey, watching them.
I feel like that's like the longest thing in the world. It's like,
If I was a pilot, I'd definitely just bring a rear view mirror just for shits and gigs. Just put it up there.
just
Adjust it. Just like, I gotta look behind me.
With the rookie in there.
Yeah,
Check
he's
your
like-
mirrors, boy. He's like, I don't
he's
remember
like,
this in flight
what are you
school."
talking about?
Yeah.
Fuck with people.
But
To check that out.
yeah, that's my definite recommendation of videos for the week.
Do you have a recommendation for video of the week?
Not right now.
That's what I was trying to think.
Maybe I could think about one.
I don't want to give away anything good. I think that's like mesmerizing me enough. Because I've been watching a bunch of like just junk, UFC stuff. Which people can get lost in easily if you're into that.
UFC Unfiltered, the
Yeah, I love
podcast.
that.
That one's really good.
Yeah, it's actually really good. Yeah, I don't know.
Also, I have I guess a movie. It's not one for everybody, but it's an anime movie. You know the Studio Ghibli stuff that came out, like Spirited Away or Castle in the Sky or any of the other ones. So there's another studio that came out with another movie. It's Kimi no Nawa, which is like Don't Forget Your Name or My Name Is. And that's also a really good movie. It's an animated movie, but it's done really, really well. It kind of looks surreally good. But and the story behind it is also like really good. It's really well written. The animation's really well drawn. I'd say it's one of the better animated movies of the year.
I'd like to check some out. I watched I guess a couple of things, but
it's more of a grown-up movie too. Like, you don't want to take kids. Mm-hmm. It's not gory or nothing. Like, little kids can go watch it, but it's something that like you've got to be mature to understand it. I want to say, like, because if you're younger, like, yeah, it's great, it looks cool and all, but like, you know, when as you get older, there's certain words, certain things people do that either tug at your heartstrings or just make you angry. And as a little kid, you don't really see that. That's why in like a lot of the Disney shows, like, you know, they can add in something perverted and the little kid doesn't understand a single thing about it. They just know Dory's going on an adventure, but the parents will laugh. Like, I think they even did something like that in SpongeBob, where SpongeBob's sitting there like watching a late night movie and Gary walks in and SpongeBob changes the channel real quick. And he's like, I was just watching the news or something, you know? So it's like, the little kid doesn't understand what the fuck's going on, but an older adult like babysitting the kid will laugh at that. So it's those kind of, I want to say, that kind of level of technically mental. I don't know.
Adult humor.
It's not adult humor. It's more like adult emotion concepts. Yeah. So like a little kid wouldn't understand it. Like, to them it'd be boring.
What's a breakup? What's relationship?
Yeah.
You know, they don't have it, so they're like, oh.
So for like an older person who understands like friendship and loss and people dying or something, you know, like that struggle, it's more of a movie for them. But for like a little kid, it wouldn't be good.
Check that out. Damn, the only cool thing the only entertaining thing I've even could spit out, I guess, was I finished the book Influence by Robert Cialdini. Heard that? About just like different ways and different things of how you can just influence people and people around you, kind of things. Not like even influence, but like just the way that you interact with someone and how they can pretty much change the entire conversation, you know? It's like doing something like if you ask for a favor, if you're just like, hey, can I use it? If you both go up to a copy machine, hey, can I use that machine? You have like a 40% chance of them saying yeah, you know. But if you're like, hey, can I use that machine? I'm in a rush. I just got to make 5 copies. Like, there's a reason for it. It's like 90%, you know. And
if it's legit, I'm
sure.
Like,
so people are just like, okay. Like, so a lot of times there's like little things like that, you know. And so like if you can do like 2 seconds more, like even just certain the way like you can bargain and things. But it was pretty good. And so, I mean, other than that, I mean, dude, the only other thing I can recommend is just Banff beard oil, because it comes in 6 different flavors and it's oh so nice. And if you put in the promo code Lost Minds, you save yourself it's like 20%, I think.
Where can we get this?
You can get us at brickanderson.com. You just click on the beard oils. There's more beard products to come: beard balm, beard wash. So
you cheeky son of a bitch, sneaking that in there.
And you can also find me at brickbrick.com. Oh, actually, no, brick.com, at brickbrick on Instagram and Twitter, and any other lame thing you want to try and talk to.
Nice.
Some robot. But yeah, man, I feel like this is a pretty good jumping off point. Anything else you guys want to say?
I'm Brian.
And I'm Edmer.
And you can find them online too. I don't want to give out last names. Well, I guess my last name.
You didn't give out your last name.
That's my website. You go to brickanderson.com.
They're going to find you.
I guess we're going to be anonymous.
But yeah, thanks for listening. Cheers.